too extreme.
Yeah.
And well, I don't. It's a very, very good question. I don't think that we're simply selfish. We have to be interested in ourselves, our own needs and desires, our own careers. Yes. If we don't take care of ourselves, who will? So the self-sacrificing, kind of masochistic, giving into others, belies who we are. On the other hand, altruism is part of who and what we are. We love our parents love their children, our brothers and sisters, our colleagues, our friends, our lovers. So compassion and caring is part of who we are. So it's not either or. It's not either you're selfish or altruistic. I think we need to be both empathetic and self-interested at the same time. Yes.
If we don't think of ourselves first or some of the time, then we don't have more
sometimes,
room to
yeah, these people who sacrifice themselves for others that never live.
Yeah.
The martyrdom, yeah, and you find that among many women who are compelled by the men to give in. Or on the other hand, I know of strong women who force their husband to give in. In any case, I mean, I think you have to think of yourself, your career, your happiness. You have only one life to live. Don't waste it. But on the other hand, who and what we are is defined by who we know and what we do for them, and the willingness to make sacrifices for others. I mean, parents make sacrifices to their kids up to a point, unless they're totally ungrateful. And you make sacrifice for the person you love, and you can love many persons in life. You fall in love many times in life. And you learn that you truly care for the other person. Yes,
thank you for
both.
clarifying that.
Human behavior is very complex. Yes, last comment, question.
That was one segue to me, I'll tell you that. I'm actually a member of the Freedom Party of Ontario, and I've met...
What is the name of that?
Freedom Party of Ontario. And I know that...
Freedom
Party. I know that I've spoke with George H. Smith, and I know that you...
Yes, we published his book.
Yes, exactly.
That's a great book on atheism, one of the best sellers, and that's not given enough credit. Yeah. He did, yes. But he was also a libertarian.
Yeah, and I know Tibor Machan is actually a writer.
Tibor Machan has attacked me in the upcoming issue of Free Inquiry, and I will respond to him.
I'm looking forward to reading that edition. Yeah. But I totally disagree with your characterization of altruism and selfishness. I think that your definition is
let's think it. Let's.
Ayn Rand was interviewed by Mike Wallace, and you can get this on YouTube. It's freely available, and you can find out that Ayn Rand was asked a question about whether she would die for Frank O'Connor, and she said she would. Yeah. She was interviewed by Mike Wallace, where she as you probably well know, Frank wasn't as well off as Ayn Rand. And Ayn Rand, for the most of her life, was
Nathaniel Brandon.
No, we're talking about Frank O'Connor, her husband, and she was.
But she had a love affair with Nathanial Brandon.
Again, the point that I'm trying to make is that Ayn Rand actually supported Frank, and I think you're.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that.
In the sense that
all right. All right. The thesis is
in helping.
I get it.
No, but the thesis is that your definition is far too narrow. Your characterization of altruism. Rand talked about sacrificing your material life. If you have, say, $100, and that $100 that's your last $100, and that $100 is for, should you help your child, or should you help your neighbor's child? Rand said that it would be a sacrifice of your wealth to give it to the other child if you value your child more than that other child. And the whole point is it is a hierarchy of values. I think your definition is completely narrow. It's Rand attacked Auguste Comte and talks literally about sacrificing others to the self. Your definition is completely narrow.
Well, I'm very grateful for your statement. I know, having published the information of humanism, I get a lot of mail from followers of Ayn Rand criticize me on the term altruism. They say, we're not truly out. If you could write to me, I'll give you my answer. I'd like to get this data about Rand because it would change your view. But in other words, you are saying that we're not simply selfish, self-interested, egoistic, and that we will do things for other people, including sacrifice, and that's
Well, it's not a sacrifice. I mean, I think you have a Nietzschean understanding of
it's not a sacrifice. Well, do you do things against your better interest?
I am talking about an enlightened, rational self-interest that does not enable sacrifice.
It's not
It is
simply
a
enlightened.
value. If someone's a value to you,
Yeah.
if someone you see that person as a value
Yeah.
to you, it's in the sense of
Well,
they're pro-life.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you
And
this.
it's not a sacrifice.
All right. Well, all right. It's difficult to
Just
get.
don't talking about this.
So what Anne Rand told me about that, I just wanted to establish that with Gabrielle.
You meet them
Okay, thank you
everywhere.
very much. And thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Kurtz. Can we get one last round of applause for our speaker, please? Dr. Kurtz will be around to sign books and if you wish to purchase some, to answer any questions that you may have at the table over there. We have a few titles available. A few last words. We do have on hand our chair of our Friend of the Center program, John. If you do want to join, he can tell you some of the incentives, and it is, as I said, a good way to commit to the next phase of our development and expansion. Also, Brian Stavert, if you're interested in helping out with our development campaign. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we've managed to raise over $21,000, but that is just the start, and we have plans to continue to raise money to advance our cause here in Toronto and beyond, elsewhere in Canada. There's also food and beverages for sale at the back if you wish to buy anything before leaving. And lastly, a lot of upcoming events, so do sign our mailing list so you can find out about those. We're going to be having a major event each week, starting basically next week, with film screening and then another lecture and book club meetings coming up as well. And I believe that's actually it. I just wanted to thank all the volunteers for making this happen. Thanks again to Dr. Kurtz and to Nathan Bupp for the slides and the transportation and all the rest of it. So thank you all for joining us on this very special day. Thanks.